From a teacher to a writer, wasn't that a tough decision to make?
Well, I should point out that I never was a teacher. I've been many things, mostly a musician actually, and then a purchasing manager, and then I did work for the Department of Education, but as a contract manager, and I made the move from there into the Easy Way to Write about 10 years ago.
If you were to be taken back then, would you make the same decision?
The decision to become a full-time writer? Yes, of course, because I've been wanting to write full-time probably ever since I was a little kid, and really I could never find a way of doing it until the internet came along, and then it seemed like it was finally possible.
And did you have someone informed on the same topic to guide you through?
Probably the guy that helped me the most at the beginning was a guy called Joe Vitale, and I bought a lot of his books and conversed with him via email, and he was very encouraging about my first book, which was Easy Way to Write a Novel, and he actually promoted it to his list in October 2002, which is really when the Easy Way to Write started.
And you have been helping other writers with your skills. Do you still consider yourself a teacher?
Absolutely, yeah. I seem to have this way of looking at particular issues, whether it be writing a novel or looking at genre fiction, and seeing all the way things are put together, and being able to see it in my own mind and piece it together and basically pass that information on. I think I'm actually pretty good at that.
Most writers I know go into writing with huge expectations, like selling 1 million copies of their first ebook in a day. Now, wouldn't that be nice? Did you have this mentality when starting?
Oh, I did actually, yes. I have to admit, when my first ebook went on sale, I was absolutely convinced I was going to sell thousands that week. And I remember sitting in the garden and sort of mentally counting up the money in my head. Of course, the reality is quite different.
How many copies of your first book did you sell?
Well, it's still selling now. I'm not very good at keeping up with numbers. You know, as you know, maths is not my strong point. But I'd probably say probably over about 50,000 copies so far, and that's just of the one. God knows how many have sold of the others.
Did you ever lose your butts on all those scams and how-to books outdoing each other on the net?
Absolutely, absolutely. I bought a lot of those internet books and gone in for a lot of this scams or whatever. I still do.
EasyWayToWrite.com, a huge success. It has won Writer's Digest 101 Best Website for Writers, like forever, and registered very many subscribers. How long has it taken you to achieve this? I mean, what motivates you?
Well, I think my primary motivation is not working 9 to 5. That was always the one that has kept me going throughout my entire life. But Easy Way to Write, I've been doing this for about 10 years. So it's taken that long to really build up a good following, a good subscriber list, and a very responsive set of students, which I'm very happy about. And you know, it's the students that motivate me really.
Then there came Magellan Books, and now R&R Books Film Music. Tell me about that.
Magellan was really an opportunity to give writers a feeling for what it was like to be published, so that they would know how that felt. But one of the problems with being an author is, especially nowadays, is the constant need to promote yourself. You know, it needs to be a daily thing. So what we thought we'd do was switch to R&R, which is basically a publishing company for you and me, Robin and I. Because that's what we do. We promote our writing every day.
What happened to WriteIntention.com?
Well, again, Write Intention was another way of giving writers that sense that they're getting out there. It was always about making a commitment that a writer will be able to say, yes, I'm a writer, here's my page, and it's online, that is my intention. So it's still there.
Well, here's a good question. Let's talk about Robin a bit. Did you meet her when you were still a teacher or after switching to writing?
I think the Easy Way to Write had been going for about a year or so, and a mutual friend thought we should get together and thought we'd make a good couple. And instantly regretted doing that, I'm sure. But he was right. He was right. And we've had a wonderful life since we've met.
Did you say that loud enough?
We've had a wonderful life.
And what was she doing then? Writing?
Yes, Robin was writing. First published in 1999, was it?
Yes.
Yes. Yes, and she's been writing ever since I've known you.
What is the worst thing she has ever told you about your writing?
I don't think you've ever said anything bad about my writing.
Your writing is fantastic. I love it.
Thank you. Where's the money?
On a lighter note, what will you do if you wake up and found your hands numb, can't hold a pen, nor hit a keyboard forever?
I guess, I consider myself a writer first and foremost, but, one of the great things about, being sort of self-employed and self-motivated or whatever is that, I've been getting into a lot of things, other things. I still write music, I still play music, I direct the odd play, I direct and produce, films, and I'm heading towards directing movies. So I think if I didn't have my hands, I'd still find a way of doing those things. But if the worst came to the worst and I had to transcribe everything onto a tape recorder, I'm sure I'd just make it work.
Parting shot to writers who expect instant results. If not, quitting becomes the immediate action.
Well, I don't think any proper writer would really give up. I mean, you have to. You have to recognise, even most agents and publishers will tell you, you're not really going to see big results from your writing for about 4 or 5 years at the beginning. If you're with a traditional publisher, you might not see any money for at least 3 years, even on the off chance you get published straight away. So I think, if you're a writer, you're in it for the long haul. 5, 10 years. It's a lifetime, really. Writing is a lifelong sentence. Love that.